What is going on, you guys? Super happy to be doing another episode. Been a minute, but we are ready to get some tin roofing underway. But where to start? uh, Thank you to W for sponsoring the podcast. You can get you some super sweet energy powder from W.GG. So far, still the like Galactic Grenade is my favorite. It's quite tasty. Their electrolyte stuff has proven to be a lifesaver already this year, and looking forward to getting my next batch. But you can also purchase some of this great stuff for 10% off if you use the code STORIES10. And don't forget, we have a spread shop where you can get you a super sweet Tin Roof Podcast t-shirt, as well as some of our other stuff for our gaming identity that we're working on called Paladin's Maledict. Um, that will be a different channel and stuff. It won't be here on Justin's Stories, but you can search it by Paladin's Maledict. Yeah, that's kind of that stuff. Got the old Tin Roof Spotify playlist that y'all can check out. Please help me out on the socials. Like after the account hack the week of Memorial Day, my numbers after rebuilding everything are not great, but I do now have an official Tin Roof Podcast Facebook page. But if you could help me out on my socials by going and giving a like and a share and inviting all of your friends to come hang out and talk music and talk books and cooking and all the different things, that would be super cool. And invite them to this channel, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple, and or YouTube. Please invite and share to where we can have all the country and metal heads and all the different things right here. Uh, yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what we've got as far as, I guess, what you would call announcements before we get into today's episode. But guys, with Father's Day right around the corner, it'll be next Sunday whenever Father's Day hits. So you got 6 days before you're either celebrating the man in your life or maybe you are the man in your life. But reason why I bring that up is because Luke Combs is debuting on Friday a album specifically like father son themed. What he sees in me, or the man he sees in me, I can't think of the name of it right now. I just listened to it right before we got onto this podcast, and it's really good. I highly recommend checking it out. I'm looking forward to the entire album. Um, he does so many different cool like songs about grandpas and stuff like that, which is why he won the song of the year for 2023 from Tin Roof. Because his song "See Me Now" was like amazing. Or maybe that was runner up because maybe Dirt won. But getting a little crisscross there. I apologize on all that. But that being said, uh, I'm really looking forward to Luke Combs' album. It looks to be fantastic. Here, we're gonna look real quick on the name of it so I don't sound like a total goober, because I'm not trying to be a goober. I'm trying to do this right. The Man He Sees Me was the name of it. Okay, so it looks to be a really cool name of the album is actually Even Fathers and Sons. So uh, coming out, the Friday before Father's Day, pretty good marketing, and it was kind of a surprise. I don't think anybody really expected it, but that one should be a really good one. We also are getting some new music from Hardy. I think it just dropped. It was called Jim Bob. He's doing some heavier stuff, so to speak, uh, and it's called like I said, called Jim Bob. But the thing is, to be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about heavy music from Hardy, but I guess in order to do this right, I guess I need to kind of check it out, because for me, like, I don't know, I just don't see, I'm not seeing it, but maybe it's good. Uh, Jelly Roll has been all over the place. He's got a song that's #1 on country charts. He just did a thing with Eminem recently, and the dude just did a thing with Ronnie Radke and Falling in Reverse, which is kind of neat. It's like a progressive, I don't even know what you call it, some sort of alternative cowboy, whatever thing, and it was catchy, and I'm sure people will love it. And props to Ronnie and Jelly Roll for putting it out there and taking a really good attempt at it. It's from the what I've heard of it, it's just not for me, and that's all right. It might be for you, so check it out. All My Life is what it's titled. Whenever I heard it, I was like, I don't know, but they tried. They came out with something cool that I'm sure some people will like. It just wasn't for me. Have you guys heard about the documentary on vocal distortion featuring Will Ramos? This thing this thing was amazing. I watched it. I wanted to do a watch along episode, but I decided that may not be a good idea. We're going to do some watch along episodes soon on a few different things, country related and metal related. That one, though, it just wasn't going to work out. So it was really cool, all the different things that they did, looking at his throat and everything while he did the screams and even his regular singing and everything like that. There's a really cool part where he sings part of Take Me Back to Eden by Sleep Token. It's really cool that they took this kind of direction with it to better understand how some of these metal vocalists are doing like their screams and everything like that. And I love how they continued to refer to Will as a deathcore vocalist, because that is the genre that Lorna Shore is considered as deathcore. So I thought that was really cool that they spent that much time doing that. But it was done through the charismatic voice, which Will has had a great relationship with for quite a while. Like since before I really knew much about Lorna Shore, in all honesty, and like my knowledge of Lorna is pretty recent. So I guess that's not really saying much, but it was a really, really cool, well done video. It's like an hour long. It's a documentary on YouTube. If you're interested in like the science behind metal screaming, definitely worth a watch, because it is just the coolest from top to bottom. Lots of really neat knowledge that is passed on by the doctors and stuff, and just fantastic. So it's a really good documentary. I highly recommend checking it out. Music wise, listening to some new metal and stuff recently. Checked out a new album by Gatecreeper that just recently dropped. It's fantastic. Working my way through some of the newer album releases. New like Gatecreeper's new one is really good. Lamb of God just dropped a like a remastered song from their Japanese version of Ashes in the Wake that is really good. It's called Another Nail in the Coffin. It's got Kublai Khan on it, as well as some others, and it's heavy. It's good. It's Lamb of God, and so like that was really cool. Speaking of the watch along thing, though, if you have any suggestions for that, leave that in the comments here. Make a post about it on like comment on our Facebook page somehow. Same with Instagram, whatever. If you have like a couple like suggestions on watch alongs, we're totally interested in hearing what you have to say, and yeah, we'll try and chop it up about that. This week's Throwing Dirt segment, kind of short. We've got Chillicothe rally going on this weekend in the States. Actually, I think it wrapped up last night. And so far this season, only one rally has not gone to Team Subaru up to this point in ARA. They've all pretty well been them, but it was a team from Mexico that ended up winning in Oregon last week or 2 weeks ago. This was definitely a short turnaround to get from the last rally out west to SOFR in Ohio this weekend. But guys, like that Ohio rally, fantastic. I definitely want to go to it here in a couple of years. So Brandon Simonek wins again, just barely edging out Travis Pastrana. So once again, just Team Subaru dominating. It's kind of cool to see them do so well. Looks like Kale Rovanpera. A lot of our rally stuff we cite Dirtfish quite a bit, so definitely don't want to like not give them credit. But Rovanpera talking to teams about Le Mans, that would be kind of neat. Kale's a very talented driver. I hate to not see him running a full schedule in WRC just because he's so entertaining to watch in rally cars. But the guys over at Toyota, they're trying to like get things back together because, man, Hyundai is just owning the owners' championship at the moment. But Ott Tanak finally got a win in Italy last weekend. Having the week off kind of threw me off a little bit, but yeah, things have been kind of crazy there. Really, I don't have much monster truck news this weekend. With the World Finals wrapping up Monster Jam, there's no big monster truck events going on at the moment as far as anything that would be huge newsworthy. There's a lot of good independent shows out there, so if you've got one in your town, I highly recommend going and checking out one of those, because they're always entertaining. But always remember, stand in a safe place, enjoy the show, and yeah, safety's key. Like safety. I highly recommend being aware of your surroundings whenever you go to a monster truck show. It's fun and it's entertaining, but no matter what you do, definitely maintain safety, especially even like with rally car racing, and it there not being much of a barrier there other than maybe some trees or some rocks or something. So safety first, but enjoy. Also, Mayhem Fest's Southern California show for this year has been announced, and it's going to feature Bad Omens, Parkway Drive, and many others, including Ginger and Suicide Silence. Overall, I get why they have Bad Omens and Parkway Drive being your headliners, because you can't have the same handful of bands constantly be the headliners, and these bands draw. So from a promoter's mindset, yeah, works out perfectly. It makes sense. Now, does that mean you have to go there for those bands? Absolutely not. I mean, I wouldn't, but I would totally go for Ginger and Suicide Silence. Before we go any further into discussing this, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the lineup so I don't seem like a goofball. But the concert is going to take place in October, and it's again in Southern California. And next year they're going to tour and be all over the place. October 12th at the Glen Helen Amphitheater in San Bernardino, and Architects will also be there. Again, not like the one that I would be like, ooh, I have to go see. But their poster is really cool. I've seen a couple of different versions of it. This one in particular is neat looking. Yeah. Kitty is going to be there, as well as August Burns Red. Let's see. Throw down. We Cames Romans. After the Burial. Peyton Parrish. Mothica, It Dies Today, The Darkest Hour, Roman Candle. So some pretty good bands. Unearth is going to be there. with 7 Hours After Violet. It's the first show ever featuring Shavo from System of a Down. August Burns Red will be playing the Constellations album. That's kind of cool. It Dies Today. This is their first show in 10 plus years. I did not realize that. So some really cool things that are going on with this Mayhem Fest. Is it like one where I'm like, ooh, not exactly. Oh, Born of Osiris will also be there. I just saw that. So really good bands. Gonna be a lot of fun. And if you're in Southern California or feel like making a trip out there, might be one to go to, because I'm sure it's gonna be good. It's history. It's momentous, I guess, because we haven't had a Mayhem Fest since then. So go support music, awesome music at that, and yeah, that's kind of all I've got. Oh, George Strait has an album coming out soon, September 6th. A little bit further away than what I had thought it was gonna be. Still something to look forward to. And the album by George Strait is a good one. If you haven't watched our George Strait episode, go back and find it in our playlist on YouTube, and or scroll through Spotify and find it there. But it was a great time discussing George shortly after his birthday. I don't want to say the wrong age, but yeah, he's getting up there in age, but he's still just churning out amazing music. Very thankful to still have him around doing so, because he's, after all, King George. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you right here on the Tin Roof Podcast.